As an investigation continues to play out over the shooting of Jacob Blake, the Kenosha Professional Police Association is releasing their own account of the shooting, saying officers knew about Jacob Blake's open warrant for sexual assault prior to arriving at the scene, that Blake fought with officers, including putting one of them in a headlock, that he was not unarmed, that he had a knife, which they say responding officers first saw when they were on the passenger side of the vehicle. They're among claims Jacob Blake's attorneys have disputed.
He was posing absolutely no imminent threat to these officers. Apparently, what their position is that if there's a knife in the vicinity, they're free to essentially use deadly force.
Much of what happened played out on video the country has now seen. But in a shocking admission, 5 days later, the Kenosha County Sheriff hasn't.
I did not see the video.
And the police chief now saying officers might have known about an outstanding sexual assault warrant for Blake.
I believe that's why they were there, but I don't know specifically.
It's why the sheriff's office says Jacob Blake would have woken up shackled to his hospital bed, a move the family called cruel and the sheriff called protocol.
He's paralyzed from the waist down. Why do they have that cold steel on my son's ankle? He can't get up. He couldn't get up if he wanted to.
The warrant has now been vacated and the shackles removed, a Blake family attorney said Thursday. Blake's shooting led to days of protests in Kenosha. Tuesday night, 2 were killed and 1 wounded on the back end of demonstrations. Kyle Rittenhouse, 17 years old, is in custody for the shootings. After allegedly shooting and killing the first person, 36-year-old Joseph Rosenbaum, another male approaches and the defendant turns and begins to run away from the scene. As the defendant is running away, he can be heard saying on the phone, "I just killed somebody," according to the criminal complaint. Rittenhouse now faces 6 charges, including first-degree intentional homicide, first-degree reckless homicide, and possession of a dangerous weapon by a person under 18. His attorneys say he was acting in self-defense. But he was not arrested at the scene, even as he walked away with an assault rifle around his neck.
It might have been abnormal 2 weeks ago. It's no longer abnormal.
He got to go home. My son got ICU and paralyzed from the waist down. Those are the 2 justice systems right in front of me.
Rittenhouse remains in custody. As for the officer who shot Jacob Blake, Officer Rustin Shasky, that investigation continues. Now, despite what's come out from the police association and from Blake's attorneys, let's remember the official investigative body in this is the Wisconsin Department of Justice. And all we've heard from them at some point is that they say Jacob Blake admitted to having a knife at some point, though we don't know when, and that a knife was recovered from the floorboard of the driver's side of the vehicle.